Hey everyone, how's it going? It's your boy Skilled Fawn, and today we're going to be doing a Dark Souls Fist Only challenge. You guys voted in the community section to do this, so yeah, we're going to get straight into this. So, first I'm going to go with the Sorcerer. This will be good for later on in the run, and you will see why. But if you haven't played Dark Souls or seen it, I'll show you the intro cutscene while I'm talking about the rules. So for this challenge, I'm going to be using fists only. Buffs are allowed, so I can buff my fists. Uh, it's an exploit slash a glitch that you can do. It's more so an exploit, but um, and I must defeat all bosses. So most of the bosses, they have massive health pools, and your fists, I think they do 2 damage and maybe 3 on the last hit, or it's 3 with a heavy attack. So it can be a lot, especially with the later game bosses. But yeah, pretty much my main priority is to uh, you know, start off main area, try and get as far as I can, and then start getting the secondary stuff to help buff up my character, get some armor, and things like that. I really love Dark Souls 1. It's such an amazing game. Uh, Dark Souls 1 and Demon Souls are definitely my two least played games out of the From Software games, but Dark Souls 1 and Bloodborne have such amazing worlds. I love how they're all interconnected. Freaking Gwyn destroying all the dragons. Age of Fire. The best age. I don't know. Ronnie's Moon Age is close second. Who's your guys' favorite Firekeeper role from the Soulsborne games? Definitely have to say DS3's Firekeeper was really cool. Though the design for the Firekeeper in this is really cool, but she just doesn't talk. At least one of them doesn't talk. The one in Anor Londo does. But with that, the run begins. So I'm gonna take off my broken sword. Got the fists only. And this is the first boss. So yeah, you can see it's 2 damage each hit. And I'm speeding this up. I believe this is times 1,000, maybe 500%, but it takes a long time. I think it took 15 minutes just for the starting boss. So that's why I'm allowing the buff to the fists and exploits like that, just because some of these later game bosses would literally take hours with so many attempts too. But yeah, it's a lot of the DS1 bosses are very simple. They don't have many combos, but when they do hit, they will destroy your health bar. So yeah, I'm just taking it slow. Obviously, it's all sped up, but I'm just trying to hang around his backside, smack him in the butt. There we go. The few last punches, we get the first boss done. Now we're at Firelink Shrine. And yeah, it's it's definitely not the easiest not having a weapon. Even in the beginning areas, it is very tough. But I make my way to Undead Burg and then meet up with Taurus Demon. So I could have done the fist, but I punched him a few times and let gravity do the rest of the work. Was a very close call though, because it almost didn't tick. Say hi to the blacksmith and onto the bell gargoyles. And I get, oh my gosh, I died so many times just trying to get this to work. But you'll see here what I mean by buffing my fists. So you can actually do this thing in the original Dark Souls where if you have a bunch of equipment weight, you can fat roll and then switch your primary weapon into the secondary slot and it buffs your fists. So it's really cool. What this does mean though is that I have a limited duration on my buff and I'm going to have to be applying it possibly once or more during boss fights. So, but yeah, definitely not the worst damage, but not like overpowered damage. That's what I was trying to go for. Something that's really challenging, but not gonna be crazy easy. 'Cause I could, I forget what they're called. Like, there's actual fist weapons you can get in this, and the other Dark Souls games, but I figured that was a little bit too easy to get them the whole time. This makes it so I have to be a little bit more patient, time my buffs. Yeah, you can see I get one of them really low and my buff wears off. So in the middle of the fight, I'm gonna have to be doing this. And I do get punished a few times. Yeah, eventually I get the hang of it, get them in a good spot where I'm able to do it. And I'm going to charge in and eliminate these fools, at least one of them. Now it's just the second one, and the second one's a lot easier. He does the fire attacks a lot more, so you can just wail on him. And just like that, the bell gargoyles go down. Took a good amount of tries. And yeah, a lot of pain, but we get the first bell rung, and on to the next area. So I make my way down to Blight Town, the best place. There will not be any more pain and suffering here. And I fall to my death, but not before grabbing the dung pile. Oh, that was most worth it. So with Quelaag, it's a pretty easy boss, but she did have a few of her AoE attacks that would just catch me off guard, or I would get stuck in her legs, and it was just not good. This was just a dumb call. I should not have freaking healed in front of her face. I had her halfway down too. Even worse. But yeah, make matters even more complicated each time. Or I mean, every Quelaag run, each time you have to either wait for the poison or use a consumable, but I didn't have any consumables, so I just had to wait for the poison to go down each time, which meant I had to use flasks that would be needed in the boss fight. But yeah, she's, like I said, pretty simple. The thing is look at the damage I'm doing. I'm doing 25, which is way better than 2 or 4, or whatever I would be doing with normal fists, but dear God, I'm just tickling her, man. Like, it's not doing too much. I'm just trying to get hits in whenever I can, avoid the lava pools as the biggest thing. Her sword attacks, very simple. You just wedge yourself in that corner of hers right there. Yeah, she loves doing that AoE attack. But nonetheless, go back in, get our hits. Yeah, eventually I get her down really low, hoping to not fail last second terribly. And right as I see her do that attack where she just spews the fire everywhere, I knew I had the golden egg. And yeah, Quelaag is down, and the second bell will be rung. With the second bell, we can now go to Sen's Fortress, and then Anor Londo afterwards. But first, I gotta say hi to Ceaseless. And unfortunately, the first time I did fight him, I ran all the way back, and he just kept doing that long-range burst attack. So I was like, okay. And I went, like, he had his arm, too, so it was just very strange. But yeah, second time, just ran in, got him down, very simple. Nothing else to say. But yeah, Sen's Fortress. This is a really cool place. I wish they would have more of these types of, like, trap places in FromSoft games. But we're going to get Logan, and this will be very useful for a bit later, because we have magic weapon right now as a buff to the fist, but we have a few more options later on. Now we're fighting Iron Golem. Yeah, he's just very simple. You just gotta wail on him till eventually he staggers, and then knock him off. Trying to get him to a good spot though, where if I did stagger him, he would actually fall off and not just fall and then get back up. And yeah, luckily I got him to a pretty good spot, and he fell off and died. Another boss down. His friend was not happy about it. He's just staring at me right now. He's like, "Curse you, you bastard! Killed my friend. How could you?" And yeah, I mean, this area is really annoying anyways, but on fists only, where you just cannot kill these guys um, without buffing, is a bit tough. I obviously could buff and just kill them, but it just takes extra time I would not want to spend there. And this is the first O&S fight. This is also my first obstacle in the fist only challenge. So yeah, buff up, and not the worst damage in the world, but not the best. Um, and yeah, I'm definitely not the best at this fight. Like I said, I'm not the most experienced with the Dark Souls and Demon Souls compared to the other FromSoft games. But yeah, I got my ass kicked in. I've, uh, I've, I not not the worst, but I don't know. I didn't think I was that bad. So yeah, here's a compilation of me just getting smoked. Oh god, like freaking for humanity here too. Ugh, I wasted so much humanity here, man. I need to get good. So what I ended up doing was I needed to take a break. Uh, I didn't show it, but just O&S, those fails maybe took like 1 or 2 streams, and yeah, I was getting a little frustrated. I did make pretty good progress on Ornstein, um, but yeah, I just need to change it up. And I ended up one phasing Moonlight Butterfly. She's not the most impressive thing. She's pretty weak, or it's pretty weak, but next on to Gwyndolin, probably my favorite boss of Dark Souls 1. And yeah, you can actually fight Gwyndolin without killing Guinevere if you did not know. Uh, Guinevere is after Ornstein and Smo, and if you kill her, the whole or Anor Londo goes dark. But if you get the special ring, you can go to his boss fight early. It's really nice. You can join his covenant too and all that stuff. Yeah, really, really good damage. And I didn't mention it, but you can see I got a new buff, the Great Magic Weapon. Uh, Fortunately, it only has 3 casts instead of 5, but definitely a lot better damage, as you'll see compared to the previous buff. And so, yeah, the fists, they don't scale with anything, even if you upgrade your strength and dex. So the way that this buff scales is with intelligence. So that's one of the reasons why at the beginning of the game I picked that class. And yeah, Gwyndolin goes down. Some nice souls to level up, and another boss down. Also, Beyond is the weirdest wedding possible in DS3. Yeah, so I had to go back, and yeah, I kept getting my head stomped in over and over. It was definitely a very humbling experience, though. um, but yeah, I just knew I needed more time, practice. I need to get good. And yeah, eventually I get a really, really good run. Maybe a bit of luck. I think mostly a bit of skill, but I'm sure a bit of luck. Um, yeah, I always want to target Ornstein first because I hate Ornstein or Super Ornstein Phase 2. It would have been a lot easier Phase 1 to go for Smo, but um, yeah, I'm gonna go for Ornstein. It's the better option in my opinion. Though the one benefit for going for Smo first is he's pretty much like, um, the pure melee one. At least Ornstein has a ranged attack, so he can be kind of passive, but um, yeah. So with this boss fight, I have to buff up again, and yeah, my freaking health bars. That's the thing is, whenever I buff up, sometimes I'm not watching my health bar and the enemy placement. I will get extremely punished. And this scared me at first. I was like, oh crap, I'm in a corner. It's not good. But yeah, I've died so many times to these fools that I was like, I'm just going all in. And I've only gotten to Super Smo like 3 or 4 times while I was doing this. Out of like maybe 30 plus. So it was looking really good. And yeah, with very little heals, I get them both down. And I was so happy, man. So happy. O&S, go down. And the 3 Lord Souls are up next. I say hi to the waifu, Guinevere. And she gives me the best gift possible. The Lord Soul. Or the Lord Vessel, sorry. I say hello to Framp, but not before accidentally falling in. And eventually, if you just don't talk to him, he just completely ignores you, which is kind of funny. And he just goes into a slumber. But I make my way down, place the Lord Vessel, and now we gotta hunt the Lords. So first I went for Seeth. Figured he would probably be the easier boss to fight, but would take the longest just because he's magic resistant. But yeah, so he kills me, so I can make my way further in the Duke's archive. And this is good because I can rescue Big Hat Logan. Another reason why I wanted to come here. So I can get the third and final buff that I wanted. Yeah, they could have just tapped me and I would have died. Yeah, we get the giant door key. This will let me escape to the top of this area. And then I progress through the archive and get the key to open up and release Big Hat Logan. Grab a bonfire and say hello again to my friend. And yeah, with this we can get the ultimate weapon. Crystal magic weapon! Make our way to Crystal Cave. And yeah, almost died right there. I went the wrong way, but yeah, make my way to Seeth's boss fight. And you gotta destroy this crystal, otherwise he is invincible, pretty much. And yeah, I was really stupid first few tries, and I just kept getting cursed. I was not patient. And so yeah, I was having a bit of trouble, which I really shouldn't have with Seeth, but it's like I'll go try something else. Maybe when I come back, I'll be a bit better, like what I did with O&S. So I go for Demon Fire Sage and this route because I want to go the Beta Chaos. And the Demon Fire Sage I pretty much already fought with the Asylum Demon. He just has a few extra attacks. And yeah, just like that, he goes down. And you can see the power of Crystal Magic Weapon. It is really freaking good. And it it's not the most overpowered, but pretty fair. Still, have to reapply my buff every once in a while. And if you're curious what rings I'm using the spell one that increases the duration, so it'll increase my buffs. And then I have the FAP ring. And then the Grass Crest Shield will give me increased stamina regen. Just like that, Centipede Demon goes down. And originally I tried doing the glitch where you can actually fling him off the world and he'll just go plummeting to his death, but I was not having too much success with that. And up next, one of the worst designed bosses from Software's history, in my opinion. I don't know, Dragon God gets hate, all these other bosses get hate, but none are as bad as this one. I've maybe had one good RNG run with him, or with it, where I've gotten it maybe like one or two tries, but dear God, every time, it's just, I just get slapped off. And yeah, Beta Chaos goes down in one punch. Technically two, but missed it, and you didn't see anything. You didn't see anything. But we got the next boss, Sif. This will allow me to go to the Four Kings, which I was a bit scared of the Four Kings because it's a DPS race. So I wasn't sure if I would have the DPS. And yeah, Sif, he kind of glitched out. So I take complete advantage of that. Yeah, you gotta feel bad for Sif and Artorias. Yeah, eventually, so sad I get him to the point where he's limping, and I put him out of his misery to get the Covenant of Artorias. I pretend to be a bird slash egg, and then the mother bird comes, brings me back to the starting area. And at the starting area, right as you spawn, if you look to the right, you'll actually see another demon right below the first one. And basically the same thing as the Fire Sage demon. I think he's slightly weaker, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, just like that, he goes down. But the main reason why I wanted to come here was to get the doll. This will allow me to go to um, fight Priscilla and go into the painting. It was really cool to see in DS3 the painting return. My gosh, freaking sister freed or Frida in that fight. But yeah, now we got Priscilla and no time to talk. Time to fight. And yeah, fortunately I was not doing enough damage to get her out of the invisibility, but do take her down first try. And another boss is in the ground. I take the ultimate plunge, and now we're gonna make our way full circle with Seeth. So after taking a little time away, reevaluating my strategy, getting good, I finally found something that worked out pretty well. And you can see how I said at the beginning this was probably going to be one of the easier ones, but would take the longest. Uh, just because, yeah, he is magic resistant, so it's going to take a lot of slaps and a lot of rebuffing. And yeah, to anyone that's like, oh, this is not a real challenge, you're, buffing your fists, I implore you to do this challenge. Just pure fists. Uh, it would take you many, many hours. I mean, I'm sure you can do it, but just it would take so much time, and it's not the time I have. And yeah, just like that, Seeth goes down. Because, yeah, at least for me, this challenge took, it was over the course of a month and a half, maybe. And, yeah, Yeah, it took a really long time. I'm definitely not the best at Dark Souls. Um, but yeah, man, yeah, it's tough. I'd love to, if any of you guys do try this run or just try the pure fist, I'd love to hear your experience in the comments below. But yeah, since we got Seeth taken care of, I buy all Big Hat Logan's spells, and then I eliminate him to get his staff. And the good thing about this staff is it's gonna give me a ton of damage, but I'm only gonna have one cast, unfortunately. With the very first buff I got, just the regular magic weapon, I think I'll have three with that instead of five, but the main buff is still gonna be the crystal magic weapon. And yeah, this is maybe the point, or a bit overpowered, but I mean, Pinwheel is extremely weak and probably one of the most laughable bosses in this, besides uh, like Capra Demon or something. So yeah, I make my way further to the Tomb of the Giants. I get the flashlight, and yeah, I also get the probably the best mask that I could have gotten from Pinwheel for this run. That with the grass crest shield just boosts my stamina so much. Yeah, I fought Nito, and I had a ton of trouble with him because whenever I jumped down, uh, the time it took just to get out of that animation, he would do the stab attack through the ground, and yeah, I was not doing too hot. But yeah, I'm just trying to get him to kill his own skeletons and then whittle him down. Yeah, he's not the worst boss. I think it's just at the beginning with that attack he can do through the ground that just would destroy me. He freaking puts toxic on me. Sorry, Nito. I know I was a bit toxic to you, but you don't gotta apply the status effect to me. Yeah, another Lord Soul acquired. So next, we got New Londo ruins, and not the worst place, but I do end up trapping myself and getting absolutely clapped by 50 ghosts. I did not want to have a party, guys. Come on. I get the key to the seal, and this will allow me to get rid of all the water in the area, and all the hidden structures underneath the water will be available. I can go down to the Four Kings. So at first I was doing it where I would buff up top and then jump down and then, run into the fight, but yeah, it was like a good, 5 to 7 seconds I was just losing out on the buff. And, this DPS race is very tough if more than one spawns in. I'm doing decent damage, but Um, yeah, it gets to the point where three of them spawn, and I I get slapped, stabbed, poked, prodded, everything in between. But yeah, after a good like 10 plus attempts, I knew I had to change something up. With each attempt, I tried changing something up slightly, but I was like, what if I started to buff at the bottom and then run in because they don't spawn right away. So that's exactly what I do. And it honestly works out perfectly because by the time they do come and I toss everything on, I'm fully prepared, gain extra time, the buff. Yeah, unfortunately, when I went into the abyss, I had to get rid of one of my rings, and I knew I needed the extra duration, so I had to say goodbye to the FAP ring once and for all. Not able to use it again. And yeah, you can see, I'm not showing it with all the bosses, but I'm sure you, like, as you're watching, you'll notice that some of these hitboxes are very bad with the fists. I noticed that with O&S in the Four Kings the most. I gotta buff up in the fight after the second one was killed. And yeah, I was starting to feel the pressure on this one. I had them so close and I wanted to see it through. Yeah, another king down. Very nice. Yeah, luckily, by the time I fight the last one, the health bar is just so low. Don't really have to worry about fighting him for too long. And yeah, the four kings go down. There we go. Huge plays. Yeah, another Lord Soul acquired. We finally have all of them. And with that, it means we can make our way to the final boss and finish this challenge once and for all. So I make my way back to the Lord Vessel. I plop in these juicy souls. And I open up a magical door. Luckily, though, I was able to die many times. Very lucky. Made sure to personally greet me in the best way possible every time I went in. But yeah, eventually buff up and I get a good run. Gwyn's gimmick is you just gotta absolutely parry the crap out of him. And if you do it right with the Estus parry, he's pretty much locked into this 2 combo for the rest of the boss fight. It's really nice. Yeah, and that fast attack, man, that that is insane. So sad to see him go. The Lord of all, falling so easy to fists. You fool. I was the Lord this whole time. I am your master. And yeah, with Gwyn down, the challenge is complete. Dark Souls beaten with fists only. And I was thinking, what do I want to do? Do I want to do the good ending, bad? Then I was like, I'm a freaking badass with fists. We're going with a bad ending. This world will be enshrouded in darkness.
My lord, bless thy safe return.
Thank you, Framps.
Let Calf and Fraft serve your highness. We are here to serve your highness. Let the true God be cast upon the world.
Our Lord has returned. And yeah, that's it. All the bosses, besides the DLC, and I forgot when I beat the game. I was like, oh crap, I didn't kill Capra Demon, but um, yeah, didn't really. I mean, Capra Demon's really simple. It probably would have been the same as Pinwheel. So, but yeah, that's Dark Souls 1, fists only, all bosses. If you guys would like to see me do this again with a DLC, let me know. I think that'd be really interesting. I'm excited to be doing more challenge runs in the future. Gonna be doing more Elden Ring and Demon Souls. Probably won't be doing another Dark Souls one for a while, just because this one took a lot out of me. It was really fun, but yeah. um, so yeah, thank you for tuning in to the video. Please like and subscribe. Uh, Comment down below what you think I should be doing next. Whether it be Elden Ring, Demon Souls. If you'd like to see me do another Dark Souls, I will do that if I get a bunch of comments for that. Or if this video hits 100 likes, or no, we'll push for 200. If we can get 200 likes on this video, I will do another Dark Souls challenge, and I'll post that in the community tabs. So, yeah, thank you again. Appreciate all the love and support you guys show me, and have a fantastic day. Stay safe. Skilled Fawn out.